a comparison between traditional marketing and the digital marketing. And my famous tagline from Bradley is, the more hands you shake, the more money you make. This is not enough effort to generate clients, especially if you've had a low cash month or a no cash month during my side hustle days. I would only blame that I didn't show up enough, and it's always like you have to do more. It's not about the strategy. Now, in terms of offline, people completely dependent on word of mouth referrals. The problem is, once you stop networking, once you stop going out and meeting people, then basically your lead pipeline becomes empty. But I would not call it a racial discrimination. I would not call it racism, but there is additional layer of resistance.
Are you a business owner struggling to generate leads and close sales? Does it feel like without the right marketing and sales strategies, your business is just an expensive hobby? If this sounds familiar, you are in the right place. My name is Dr. Priya Jagannathan, digital product strategist and business automation expert specializing in marketing and sales strategies. This podcast is designed for business owners and entrepreneurs who want to take control of their business operations, supercharge their marketing efforts, and drive growth through strategic CRM and business automation. In every episode, we will dive deep into our Power Pivot framework, which basically involves your product and pricing, your online and offline presence, your warm lead generation strategies, evaluating your sales process, and creating retainer and retargeting existing client formula. Through this framework, even the smallest pivots can create massive business success. So, if you're ready to scale your business with simple, actionable strategies that combine the right marketing, automation, and CRM tips, you might want to listen to today's episode.
In today's episode, I want to talk about a very interesting topic that I found it very interesting, a comparison between traditional marketing and the digital marketing. In the world of AI, do we still prioritize traditional marketing? Does that still work? Yes and no. Depends on the service sector. I used to be a complete Instagram girl in the online world, where I see coaches who are making millions of Instagram. My coach based in the US, she has built her complete business of Instagram and her podcast. Stacey Bayman, initially she did a lot of traditional marketing, but now I know she's completely online and she's built an empire, making 8 million to 13 million every year just of coaching. I've got so much respect for coaches, especially mindset coaches who can sell intangible stuff. But for me, I cannot sell a feel-good factor and invoice people. I need to believe in what I sell. So for me, my brain works with lots of logic. So I'm more of a tangible outcome person. So if you give me $10, I'll tell you exactly what you get for that $10. So that's just me. But then there are other people that I know from my face-to-face networking groups who do not have an online presence. They've created a Facebook business page because people told them they need it, but they've never posted online. They don't consider online traffic as important because they get their complete referrals through word of mouth marketing. So I have been knee-deep in both of these worlds and know people who are extremely good and run their business either or some people are like me who do a bit of both. So if you consider my lead generation, I would say 40 to 50% I get from word of mouth referral-based marketing from my different networking groups, and completely other 50% is from online social media. So I think I know a thing or two about both of these worlds because I've been in both of these worlds for the past 3 years. So I strongly believe this will be a very good episode if you are trying one and you want to explore the other, or if you have never done online marketing, maybe you'll get some words of wisdom. So it's suitable for both or all three different sector of people. So let's look at the online business world. What did I find in the online business world? What I liked and what I didn't like. So the online business world, for me, I'm a people's person. I love connecting with people. I want to make that genuine connection. Sometimes I had imposter syndrome when I used online only as my source of lead generation. If I had to do a business effort, any efforts in my business marketing or lead generation, I had to post a story on Instagram. Even today, I'm very active on Instagram, only in stories. I don't post much. And most of my lead nurture and conversion happens via stories because I've got an engaged audience there. So there are some days where I might have had a very crappy day. I might have cried my lungs out and have swollen eyes, but I'll go wash my face, put some makeup on, and then I'll show up on stories to say that, I can still motivate people. And then when I shut the camera, I felt like a fraud because, you share the good stuff. You want to be accountable for people who look up to you and who actually expect your content, because 2 days if I don't post, I get DMs. Are you alive? Are you dead? So you form those genuine connections with people, but there are a lot of times where you feel like a fraud, and when you feel this is not enough effort to generate clients, especially if you've had a low cash month or a no cash month during my side hustle days, I would only blame that I didn't show up enough, and it's always like you have to do more. It's not about the strategy anymore, and you start blaming the algorithm that it's not working. The algorithm didn't show me. So there are so many excuses, and there are lots of thoughts in your head that kind of drive how you want to drive your business. And I think for me individually, an all online approach did not work, especially with Australia having a high level of skepticism. I did not have even a single Australian client while I was a complete online Instagram girl. So joining these networking groups and different networking events helped me sign clients, and now 90% or more of my clients are from Australia. So once they work with you, they believe you, they trust you, then they're there with you for a lifetime, right? But the initial level of trust building, the know, like, and trust factor is a challenge. And I never use my skin color as a factor to say I've been discriminated. But there's also that extra layer of resistance that I need to break to get into the market. So I've got that extra layer of resistance that I have to peel to build that know, like, and trust factor. That is definitely there, but I would not call it a racial discrimination. I would not call it racism, but there is additional layer of resistance. But it's interesting. The people that I've met from UK, the Britishers who rule the world, who are on top of the world, they feel discriminated in Australia too. So Australia is a very interesting country, I would say. They're very easygoing. It's not hard. A lot of people are very, very easygoing. If you're very honest and be open about things, they're pretty easygoing. So I don't feel a lot of challenges cracking into the Australian market, but then it definitely takes time. But when you go into the face-to-face world, that particular time that it takes to build that know, like, and trust factor is relatively short. Okay, so there are different networking groups. So you can join if you're in the online world. You can choose networking groups that suits your lifestyle, that suits your preference. So I've been part of BNI for almost 3 years. I've been part of BX. I've been part of different chambers of commerce. So each one is different or how they work. I love BNI. I believe in BNI because of the strict KPIs, and I know it works. BX is amazing. I've met some amazing people there, but in terms of going back to the same group, that repetition and discipline, I think that's what has made BNI work for me. Probably it suits me, but I know a lot of people who have made shit ton of money using BX as well. Chamber of Commerce is more for connections. I haven't explored that a lot in terms of lead generation, return on investment, but it definitely works. So if you are a complete online person, I would highly recommend get out of your house, stop staring at your monitor, meet some people. And my famous tagline from Bradley is, the more hands you shake, the more money you make. When I say it, my clients love it, and it's true. The more people you make, sometimes when my cash flow goes down, when I'm feeling bad, I tend to attend a lot of networking events, and it's just the energy more than the return on investment, meeting new people and then having meetings. So it definitely changes the trajectory and gives you more opportunities to meet a lot of people, speak to a lot of people. Now, in terms of offline, people completely dependent on word of mouth referrals. The problem is once you stop networking, once you stop going out and meeting people, then basically your lead pipeline becomes empty, right? It completely becomes word of mouth. But a lot of traditional businesses run off word of mouth, like trades businesses, lawyers, for example, that work really, really well with referral partners. And there could be a commission structure there could be monetary benefits there for referral partners. So there's a lot of different models that people do different depending on the industry. So that has worked really, really well. But there is also a segment of people who want to explore the online business opportunities, like getting more Google reviews, automating their Google reviews, and having their presence on social media. Everyone wants it, but because they do not have the need, because, for example, tradies, I've never seen a tradie without any leads or struggling to get leads, right? They're completely booked out. So they do not see the need to spend money on having a flashy Instagram feed and having a flashy Facebook feed. So they don't see the importance. I understand that because they don't have a problem. So why would they solve something when there's no problem at all? But then when you're trying to sell a business, when you're building a business to sell, these digital assets play an important role. So it's important that everybody is able to find you online, especially in the business world. If you share your business name, you go to networking meetings, people want to see your LinkedIn profile, people want to see your Instagram or Facebook profile, and that's how they're going to judge you and your business. So it's good to have an online presence and another source of lead gen and not completely dependent on that. So that's why I believe in the hybrid model, where there's a little bit of traction coming from face-to-face, there's a little bit of traction coming from lead generation, because I was very scared when I was going to India early this year that I stopped complete networking when most of my referrals came from networking. I was out of the country for 2 months and I thought I will not have anything to call a business. But because I had set up all these online lead generation, automation and different platforms that worked in my favor, I killed myself working while I was there in India, right? I was really, really busy in the CRM and business automation space. Only after I came back to Australia, I actually really niched down in the CRM and business automation space. So it's great that I've got all these different funnels and different platforms that people can tap into to know who I am, what I'm doing, and then reach out to me and sign up as a client. So I've got this podcast, I've got YouTube, I've got email newsletters that go out, I've got Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. So too many things, right? But they all are working in my favor in either generating a lead or nurturing a lead or converting a lead and so on. So I would highly recommend every business to have a bit of both. I think if you're completely depending on one platform, for example, Instagram, and if they shut you down, then overnight you lose your entire business or your source of traffic. I've seen a lot of business do that. For example, now, as we speak in December 2024, TikTok is going to be banned in America. Imagine the millions of businesses that are completely running off TikTok. What's going to happen to them? India banned TikTok some years ago, and a lot of people had to change, pivot, and move to another model. So if you're a complete online person, my strong advice is do not put all your eggs in one basket. Try to diversify your content and repurpose them on multiple platforms. We've got podcast episodes that talk about repurposing, so go back and listen to that episode. I also have a webinar on my website where I talk about how can you generate content using different AI tools and repurpose using different AI tools. So check them out. So there are some amazing resources available on my website to check out. And if you want to identify what's your bottleneck in your business, there's a quiz that you can do. So my website is packed with valuable information. So go on and check it out. It's helped me to build a business even without being in Australia. So if that's your aim, you want to travel and still make money and have clients and all the jazz, then highly recommend you check out my website. Reach out to me and I should be able to help. If you're looking for any kind of business automation, in the show notes below, I've got a link to my demo page where I can show you a demo of the CRM, or you can also book and you can click and try a 30 days free trial of the CRM and see if it's a right fit for you. I strongly believe in saving your time, energy, and effort in not doing your mundane tasks. So make sure you check it out. I truly believe in this. So if this episode was helpful, let me know how you felt, what was your biggest takeaway, or if you have any questions in any of these face-to-face, hybrid model or online model, reach out to me and I would love to help you. I'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you found value in today's episode, make sure to follow, share, leave a review so we know that you love listening to us. And if you are looking at more valuable tips, insights, tools, and resources to help grow your business, please visit pivottothrive.com.au. I will leave links in the show notes below. Just remember, if your current strategy isn't working, you don't have to quit. You just pivot, because the right pivot can make a huge difference. Let's pivot and keep thriving. I'll see you in the next episode.